Hello.
Ma'am, I
Ma'am,
think
as you say.
सीमा मैडम आप कुछ
Shall
बोल
I
रहे थे?
start, ma'am?
एक मिनट सीमा मैडम
नहीं
वो
मैम,
चलें।
नहीं मैम, एक्चुअली वो शायद चंद्र सर के इधर कनेक्शन का इशू था ना, तो वो लेफ्ट आ रहा था और चंद्र सर के लिए आप बात कर रहे थे ना, तो दैट इज
हाँ
व्हाट आई
हाँ
वांटेड टू से।
हाँ ओके फाइन।
Ma'am, as you say.
हाँ we can start.
Shall I start, ma'am?
Yes.
Ji, ji. Respected Secretary, Seva Sadan Trust, Mr. Sanjay Dabrai, In charge Principal, Dr. Geetha Menon, Convenor of the program, Professor Neelam Kapoor, Coordinator, Dr. Nita Gundawar, members of FDC, faculty of our college, and attendees, and my dear fellow students. A very good evening to one and all. I, Dr. Chandra Rohra, the Faculty of Business Law, member of FDC R.K.T. College, welcome you one and all. It is said that intellectual growth should commence at the birth and cease only at the death. Yes, it actually commences at birth only and it stops at the time of death only. That is why we see all different varieties with the different species of development in the IPR. In patent, we see the process of different kinds of products. In trademark, we see the different kinds of logos, symbols, signatures, and in copyright, we see novels, movies, scripts, songs, musical backgrounds, etc. The other quote is by Dr. Benjamin Mitra from Australian Patent Office. When it comes to IPR, not everything that glitters is gold. So now we have to understand the difference between the gold and the other glittered metals. Keeping in mind the betterment of all of us, our FDC has organized this webinar that is on IPR and plagiarism. I'm sure that the outcome will an positive addition to everyone attends this. Now, I would like to call convener of the program, Professor Neelam Kapoor, the lady behind the successful outcome of the FDC at every point of time, to put through the light upon the today's webinar. Over to you, Neelam, madam.
Thank you Chandra sir. Respected Principal Dr. Geetha Menon, respected Pralhad sir, today's chief guest and the speaker, all my colleagues from RKT College, and my dear PG students. Good afternoon to all of you. When we started thinking of FDC committee, started thinking of what to do for the faculty, because they are all teachers, and last 2 years we are online, so there are many things we had have already learned, and I will say that now everyone is expert in online. So we thought, why not go for a topic where many times we don't just think over it before sharing the things with the students. Like if I like a circuit, being from physics and electronics, I just take that circuit, put in my notes, and just share with the students. Never thinking of that it has a copyright. It is not a right thing to do, taking someone's some content and using it. Then slowly, if you see, UGC is increasing the research part in the CAS. Now, a day will come when everyone has to contribute doing some research. And when you go for research, there are many such things which you should know what we have to do and what not. And with that, we reach to the this particular topic, which is also initiated by IQAC, that IPR, that intellectual property right awareness. So under this topic, we thought, why not we choose two topics which are like we will be able to cover them properly, and that is copyright and plagiarism. So I will not talk much about all the topics. That is up to the Pralhad sir. He is the expert in that, and he will tell us what, as a teacher, I must know, and as a research student, what I should do and what I not. So I welcome once again Pralhad sir to you, and thank you, Chanda sir.
Thank you, madam. Very well said, madam. We are going to listen one of the expert on the caption subject today. Now, I would like to invite our respected worthy in charge principal, Dr. Geetha Menon, to address the crowd with her motivational words. Over to you, madam.
Thank you, Dr. Chanda. Good afternoon to one and all. I officially welcome Mr. Pralhad Jadhav to our institution, R.K.Talreja College, which you are an alumni, as the resource person for the session, No Intellectual Property Rights. Welcome, sir. It is a pride and a privilege to have you here with us to address our participants, who are none other than our own students and our faculty members. Dear friends, we are all here to learn something about know the intellectual property rights. Friends, in the olden days, there was only one idea of after graduation, what next. We all wanted a job, and the job would be anything like from the bank or railways or anywhere, industries, school, colleges. But it was so very cool, no risk, totally satisfying. You spend years and years in the same job, and we are all happy. But the scenario has changed totally. Now slowly the word job is getting replaced by the word called profession. It is transformed, and the competition has entered the picture, the scenario, and all of us are entering into the world of competition, started specializing, becoming in some or the other topic of interest, and becoming professionals. My dear friends, we all are become professionals, maybe CA, maybe, if I put it, horticulturists, maybe copywriters, maybe lyrists. There are so many things in the field of drama, in the field of films, wherever it is, we have all become professionals. Slowly and slowly being professional, competition is still there, but today the scenario is totally different. We are facing a new challenge, and there is a drastic change in the scenario. We are all, you can put it, some of us, not all, some of us, among us, or maybe the other people, they are innovators. They have unique, innovative ideas. We have young people having startups, and we put them under the entrepreneurs. Big dreams, bigger dreams, and high expectation. So then what next? What should we be equipped of? My dear participant friends, till now we were aware of the property. We know about our rights over the property. That is the materialistic world, the materialistic property. But what about our intellectual ideas? And what about the material what we pick up from the net, believing it to be our own, but actually owned by somebody else? And we present it very coolly saying, yes, it is our own. So my dear friends, it was realized by the faculty development cell the importance of making all of us aware of the intellectual property right, how we can make best use of it, what precautions, what measures we should take, how do we protect our intellectual ideas, Patenting, yes, patenting is a thing what can go for the next. So here we are with the idea, and we thought we should have Pralhad Jadhav, who is from Khaitan Company. We are very happy to welcome you, sir, to our college. And I'm sure all participants, my faculty members and my student friends, all will be benefited about the idea. And in this session, we have 2-day session today and tomorrow. Copyrights to protect your intellects, and plagiarism tool, check, a tool to enhance quality, which are very important, as rightly said by Neelam Madam, the convener of the faculty development program, that we must know about the plagiarism check, we must know, have an idea about the copyrights, and I would bet it's like a patent, whatever, we should be having idea about, we can patent our intellectual property. So without taking much of the time, I just thank everyone for joining and congratulate you for joining. I thank my resource person to be here. Welcome all of you. Wish you all the best. Thank you. Over to you, Chandar sir.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for your inspirational speech. Now I would like to request Dr. Nita Gundawar to introduce our guest speaker of the day, Mr. Pralhad Jadhav. Over to you, madam.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. A very good afternoon to one and all present here. I, Dr. Nita Gundawar, is thankful to the organizing team for extending the opportunity to introduce today's guest speaker, Mr. Pralhad Jadhav, sir. He is working as an associate director, library, and knowledge management manager in Khaitan Company, a corporate law firm since 2006. He is qualified UGC NET exam in 2017 in the subject Library and Information Science. Sir has completed Masters in Library and Information Science from Mumbai University and is second rank holder in the batch. He also holds postgraduate diploma in Library and Information Management, that is PGDLIM, from Tata Institute of Social Sciences. He works as guest lecturer at Yashwantrao Chauhan Mukta University for BLIS and also MLIS. He is member of the Board of Studies in LIS at KG Joshi College of Arts and NG Bedekar College of Commerce. Till date, he had presented 25 research papers in national and international seminars and conferences and won the Best Paper Award 2 times for his research paper. He was also called as resource person at Ajmer University, Goa University, Gujarat Central University, Mumbai University, and JNT University, Telangana. He was also called as resource person by Maharashtra Government Education Department, West Zone, Mumbai, for school library professionals. Apart from this, there is a big list of awards which he has received. I will mention a few of them here. It's Ambarnath Vaibhav Award 2022, Valuable Resource Person in LIS domain under the domain of LIS Award in year 21-22, COVID Yodha Award in 2021. Further, he is recognized as one of the 50 eminent librarians in India, Dynamic Librarian Legal Domain Award 2020, Khaitan Company Professional Development and Branding Award year 1920, Gratitude Award for Differently Working LIS Professionals in Maharashtra, Shahid Sukhdev Singh Award 2016, Lifetime Achievement Award 2016, Social Work Award 2017, Education and Library. He is also the awardee of Paul Harris Fellowship by Rotary International in the year 2020. There is a big list furthermore, but I will stop here. With this brief introduction, I request Mr. Pralhad Jadhav, sir, to start the session. Over to you, Pralhad Jadhav, sir. Please start your session.
Thank you so much. First of all, good evening to one and all. And I am feeling very happy because I am speaking in front of my teachers because RKT College is my college. When I started, uh, uh, for the for the graduation, I had taken the admission in the RKT College due to some physical disability. I was not able to enroll at the 11th, but when I got good marks in 12th and I get the opportunity to study at RKT College, that was 3 years I was there, and it was really one of the biggest learning for me in RKT College. And from there, I went to the higher studies also in the University of Mumbai Department of Library. So whenever your foundation is strong, then only you can reach to some level. So definitely there is a share from the RKT College management. So this is a good platform for me to say thanks to each one of you. Definitely there are professors who are working beyond, prior to 1990s, but still thanks to everyone those who are presented here. And thanks to Nita madam for this golden opportunity. Thanks to Geetha ma'am for inviting me, and thanks to Neelam ma'am. Because at the end, I'm sure most of them are hurry to go. So before that, I would like to say thanks to all of you. So we'll start with my presentation. Just give me 1 second. Can anyone give me the access? You must grant permission in order to share your screen. Can't share your screen.
You can, sir, you can.
I'm getting a pop-up, madam. I'm getting a pop-up.
Just wait. Uh, you are the.
Pralhad sir, actually, when you checked in the initial stages, na, it was done successfully.
I'll just
Yeah,
check once moment.
that time you checked, no, it was you were able to do that. Bharat, have you changed the setting? Because initially when he shared the screen, he was able to do it. No. Yes. Okay, fine. Sir, you can try it. There's no issue. I think he only is on. Is there or he has left?
I'm there. I'm there. I'm there.
He's there. Huh. So you can share. There is no issue.
Can
Yes,
anybody
we
confirm
can
whether
see.
it is
Yes, yes,
visible?
yes, we can see. We can see.
Yeah. So definitely the topic is very huge. IPR, intellectual property right, and I must appreciate the management for selecting such a good topic and a theme. Previously, most of the all this legal terminology we are not known till graduation. In the post graduation, we get the chance to know all these things. But now, due to the awareness and due to the initiative taken by not only by the government but by the institute also. For example, today RKT College had taken this initiative. Why we can't have a session on this IPR and specifically on a copyright? Copyright is a very small word for everyone, but if you go into that, and definitely you will find a valuable lessons how you can protect your intellect. That is also important. We can store we can keep your belongings, costly belongings in the lockers, but in terms of copyright, the legal knowledge should be there. I'm not asking you to become a legal expert, but at least some sort of knowledge should be there, because as you are in the teaching department or you may be a researcher, so all such type of information may be handy to you. Myself, Pralhad Jadhav, working as Associate Director in the Department of Library, Khaitan Company. I am there from last 16 years, and I'm really enjoying my profile because it is not only working there, but I am also a learner, good learner. That's why copyright, plagiarism, IPR, online research tools, these all topics I learn due to my work profile, and I must thanks to my firm for that. Uh, Definitely, many of the time, many times, not only to the students, even for the faculties, there is a question in their mind whether if I'm copied, whether it is a fair or it is just not fair. So throughout the sessions, I will explain what are the copyrights, what are the legislations, what are the terminology, how you can protect your intellectual, how what precautions you can take in terms of protecting your own intellectual, or in terms of copying others' material, how you can do the justification. So start with the joke. Teachers to students, kids, your essay on my dog is exactly the same as your brother's. Did you copy from him? Student, no teacher, it's about the same dog. So this is the funny thing about the copy. Whenever you copy something, and if you got caught, and we get a very interesting answer from the students, even from the researcher also. So this is the beauty of the copy. What is the exactly beauty of the copy? Why we are talking about the copyright, where all the teaching faculties are there, where all the researchers are there? It protects you. Yes, one of the important thing that is it protects you. Second important point, why copyright is important, it provides you the opportunity to honor the other. Yes, my dear friends, if you are taking something and if you are giving credit, or if you are mentioning his name in the reference, definitely it is counted as a you are giving honor. Friends, believe me, we are in the March, or in the month of March, and the next 26th, if I'm not wrong, on the 26th April, yes, a World Intellectual Property Day is celebrated. It is a World Intellectual Property Day. I'm sorry, there is some problem with my system. I'm sorry. Still not visible? Wait a moment, please. Now it is visible. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. So on 26th April every year we celebrate the World Intellectual Property Day. See, we are not only restricted to the India. Nowadays, we are working at an international level also. So all such intellectual things are really important. If you talk in terms of research, or if you talk in terms of education or research, or in any domain, it is really important. So we'll start with the short stories. Short stories. Whenever I go early in the morning to my office, I go by bicycle and I kept it at the parking area with lock. Why lock and key? It is important because otherwise it can be stolen. So the same way, your intellectual should be somewhere protected. Otherwise, it will be a very difficult situation for you to protect that. See, the board of studies, board of directors meeting is going on there, and one of the gentlemen is explaining the profit and loss account, and what is mentioning there. Unfortunately, this here is the intellectual property he took with him when he left. It means what? Yes, if you own your intellectual property, you can take it with you at any time. It means that intellectual property has certain values, and it is really important. So, well, one moment, please. I'm really sorry, there was some disturbance at door. So if you have something with you in terms of intellectual property, then definitely it is your rights. At any time you can take, you can utilize it for your benefit purpose also. So I'll just start with the IPR in a daily life, which is very important. So there are some couple of pictures in front of you. Zindagi ke saath, zindagi ke baad bhi. What is that? Anyone can answer, that is LIC. Then haq se mango, priya gol. Dag अच्छे, I give surf excel. इसको लगा डाला तो लाइफ जिंगा डाला. What is that? Tata Sky. So this is the importance. See the value of that product, how it is created because of this all IPR protection. That's why IPR is really important. See why it is important. Yes, it will give you to chance to identify which is the original and which is the not original. For example, TID and TIDS. For example, Adidas and Adidas, Hike and Nike. So it is very easy for a common person to identify. If a common person can identify which is the original and which is the duplicate, who will get the benefit? The original author, the original producer, the original manufacturer will get the benefit because he can sell his product with proper marketing and advertising. So his product, with the help of this IPR rights, he can sell his product originality. So that's why it is considered as one of the important assets in business life. IPR is considered as a asset. As you are from the commerce background, you may know asset means tangible assets and intangible assets. So it can be divided into two types of fixed assets, a physical existence. Value of assets get depreciated in physical assets, right? Then easier to sell off. Yes, it can destroyed by fire and natural calamities. This is termed as a fixed assets. So what is invisible assets? Do not have the physical existence. Value of the assets will get payback. Yes, they are not that easier to sell off. It can destroy business failure. Yes. What are the example of that? Yes, all these copyright branches are the best example of intangible asset. What are they? Goodwill, patent, trademark, copyrights, brand, know-how. All this can be industrial design, geographical indicators. All this can be considered as an intangible assets under the branch of IPR. So intellectual property is a category of property that includes what includes intangible creation of the human intellectual. And that assets had a features of what it can bought, it can sold, it can mortgage, it can exchange, and even it can license like a physical property. Yes, my dear friend, all this IP property can be bought, sold, mortgage, exchange, and even license can be possible for that. So I'll start with a story. Yes, there were two engineers, and one engineer had left the job and he had joined another competitor, but he had a regular lunch with that his friend, and in the lunchtime he's sharing all the information to his colleague, the earlier office colleague. And during that time, she's collecting all this information as intellectual, and she's passing to the management. And after 6 months or 9 months, sorry, 14 months, the another engineer's company had lost three major bids. So in short, what? Whenever you're talking, you should be very much, confident what you are sharing. Because sometimes, in a chit chat manner, you may share some intellectual, which is not good for your office purpose, which is not good for your profile also. Second story regarding the how intellectual can be theft. Many scientists from the European country get unsolicited call. Yes, they are getting call from their home country to come and speak on the seminar or a conference on a paid consultant. Why they are calling? Why they don't have any other speakers in the country? Because they think this is the way the intelligence gathering is cheaper as compared to the research and development. It means they are gathering all the research through all the intellectual through the seminars conference. So this is the way the IPR can be stolen. So it is our responsibility of the education institutes or the government that it should start from the classroom. Young researchers need to know more about the IP rules and rights. With increasing focus on the innovation research and cross-border collaboration, need to learn more about the IPR to safeguard what? To safeguard of the inventions which is created by the students among the which is created by the students. And why we should integrate IPR in the classroom? Because it will help you. It will help you. Why we have to promote and protect IP? It will help you to progress and well-being of humanity. Yes, it will give you the legal protection of new creations. It will give you the economic growth, creations, new jobs, and industries. IP conventions, yes, definitely it is administered by the World Intellectual Property Organization. If you ask me about the world level, it is administered by the WIPO. Categories of IP, yes, it is a intellectual property divided into two types: industrial properties and the copyright. What are the industrial properties? Industrial design, patent, trademark, trade secret, geographical indications. These are the industrial properties. Then copyright, yes, definitely copyright is a separate branch of the IPR. So I'll just share a small story again with you. What is that exactly? The screen is visible. Hello,
Yes,
hello.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
Yes, I'm sorry because I'm not getting it. So one-sided. So I am. Yes. So best memory of school life when we are sharing the notes or when we are in the exam. Best memory of the school life. ये क्या लिखा है ये क्या लिखा है बे जो समझ में आ रहा है वो लिख बाकी ऐसे ही डिजाइन बना दे. So this is the funny part of the copyright. See, story what I want to share with you. An artist decided to make a short film. He has a very good story and made the film. The film is based on the Indian flag. So he added a song, Saag se karenge sabka swagat. While uploading the film, he received a copyright notice. Mr. Y cannot upload as he added song which is already copyrighted. So we have to be very careful what is copyrighted and what is not copyrighted. What we can add and what we can't add. That is important thing. So copyright, basically, if you ask me, I'll just give a simple meaning of the copyright. That is, it is an exclusive right for what? For the creators of literary, musical, and other artistic works, including what? Films, sound recordings, computer software, etc. So it gives a right, exclusive right for the literary, musical, and other artistic work. Copyright provides the legal framework for the protection of traditional of copyright individual authors, composer or artist. Moreover, also for the investment required for the creation of works by major culture and other industries. It means it will give you the legal framework. There are a couple of conventions which is helping to maintain the copyright at the international level. First convention is the Paris Convention, which is specifically for protection of the literary works, and the another convention that is for the Bern Convention, which is came exist in the 1886. Again, it is for the literary work. So these two conventions are really important in the framework of the copyright, right? So works where copyright works, it can work in the literary work, computer program, artistic work, film, dramatic work, musical work, and sound recording. We'll check one by one how it protects. For the literary work, example are the school textbooks, judgments or orders, head notes protected, commentaries of the act. Who is the owner of this author, writer, and term of the copyright? Lifetime of author plus 60 years. If you go to the next category, that is dramatic work, yes, drama, play, excludes film, definitely. Who is the owner, creator of the work? The term lifetime of author plus 60 years. This is the term where copyrights applied. Musical work, music and includes any graphical notations. The song is not a musical work. Who is the owner, creator of the music? Yes, and term for the copyright, lifetime of author plus 60 years. If you ask me for the artistic work, a painting, work of architecture, work of artistic craftsmanship, author, artist of the work, in case of photograph, it is a photographer. Term of copyright, lifetime plus 60 years. In case of photograph, it is 60 years from the year subsequent to the year of publication. Whenever it's published from that time till 60 years, it is protected. The next category in our list, that is sound recording, means of sound recording any medium from which such sounds may be produced. Who is the author, producer? Term 60 years from the year subsequent to the year of publication of the sound recording. The another category, film, yes, film, animation film, video film. Who is the author, producer? Term 60 years from the year of its publication. I guess the next one is broadcast production rights. Yes, means a communication to public by wireless diffusion or by wires or any form of signs, sounds, or visual images. Who is the author? The organization who broadcasts. And what is the term of copyright? 25 years of from the year of broadcast. Performer right. This is the last one in our category. The performance of actors, musicians, jugglers, acrobat, a person delivering a lecture, snake charmer, and dancer. Who is the author? Performer. The term of copyright, 50 years from the year of performance. So owner, generally the owner is the author of the work. It is the writer, composer, artist, producer, performer. They are the owner and they had certain rights. So what are their rights? Those are the owners of the copyright. What are their rights? Their right is divided into two parts, moral and economic. Moral rights, yes, right to making the work publicly, yes, right to determine the indication of the author's name, right to preserving, yes, and author's honor. If you ask me about the economic right, right to replications and right to make work available to the public. So these two different rights are having to the copyright owner. So what is the copyright infringement? Unauthorized use of work without permission of the owner of the work. It includes of what? Sell, hire, offer to sell, or hire. If it includes, then there is a copyright infringement. Distribute copies for commercial purpose, then there is a copyright infringement. Exhibit in public without permission, then that is a copyright infringement. Import into India any infringement of it, that is the copyright infringement. How we can avoid such things? Yes, friends, we can avoid that. There are two different ways we can avoid. One is a public domain and another one is a fair use. So we will just distinguish between fair use and the public domain. Work used under fair use are still covered by the copyright. Works in the public domains are not covered by the copyright. Parts of a work may be only be used for education, research, news reporting, criticism, or parody. In public domain, it will allow you to use entire work to be changed, adapted to other media, or reproduced with no legal consequence. In fair use, you require the permission needs to be obtained to sell or distribute the entire work. In public domain, there is no need to take a permission. In fair use, you must give the credit to the original creator, and in the public domain, it is not required. If you are giving, that is also fine. So in India, how copyright is protected? I mean to talk about the act, the legal domain and the legal framework, how copyright is protected. Yes, it was a very old act. It was introduced in 1957. That is the Copyright Act 1957. But after that, there was several amendments. In 1983, there was an amendment due to broadcast technology and reprographic technology. Again in 1984, again it is got amended due to printing technology and recording of broadcast program. In the 1994, due to medical textbooks, they again got amended. And in 1999, due to trade effect, they got amendment. But my dear friend, if you are a researcher, if you are a teaching professor, then this Copyright Amendment 2012 amendment is a very most important, substantial for you, for researcher, for me also. So what is there in the Copyright Amendment Act? We'll check one by one. The Copyright Amendment Bill was passed on 8 June 2012. Copyright Amendment Act 2012 is a significant in terms of the challenges posed by internet. Yes. So the challenges which we are facing due to internet, considering that challenges, Indian government had got this amendment. So we'll check what are the changes which is welcome changes which we got it in 2012 amendment. Commercial rental, yes, it is allowed and it is amended in the section 2 after clause FA. They had introduced with the commercial rental. It means referring to similar film which includes the rental, risk, or lending a lawfully acquired copy. Yes, if a Z-Terry film want to rent their own copyright film, they can do that due to this amendment. Then again, one of the important amendment possible in 2012, which is really Ramban for the teaching faculty and the professor and the teachers. That is the fair use. They had used, they has amended the fair use clause, and where this four principle is available, it means it is a fair use. First principle, the purpose and character of your use, it should be clear. The nature of the copyright work, it should known. The amount and substantial of portion taken, and the effect on the use upon the potential market. If all these four are achievable, then that content can be covered under fair use clause. So where they had introduced fair use, in general context, they had introduced subsection 1, clause A. A fair link with any work not being a computer program for the purpose of what? Where it is applicable, fair use where it is applicable in research, criticism or review, reporting of current events and current affairs, it is applicable there. Even storing of any work in any electronic medium for the purpose mentioned in this clause, again it is allowed. Then if you ask me about how fair use is applicable in the electronic transmission or in a digital work, yes, an electronic transmission or communication, it is allowed in subsection 1, clause B. Again, for providing electronic links, access or integration, again it is allowed in subsection 1, clause C. They had introduced a new clause C of section 52. In section 52, they had introduced a clause C. If you are getting any written complaint against the content, then you have to remove that. If you don't receive anything, then you can continue it. For example, if I am using certain content which is copyrighted, and if I got a notice from the complaint, at that moment I have to withdraw that. If I am not getting, and then definitely it is fine. There is no issue. Fair use for the judicial proceedings, yes. In subsection 1, clause D, reproduction of any work for the purpose of judicial proceeding and report of a judicial proceeding, it is allowed. For example, if I am representing to a R.K.T. college in one of the court matter, and I am making multiple copies of from the judgments or from the commentaries, it is allowed under this clause. Very important thing for you, educational institution and activities. Yes, in subsection 1, clause J, they had introduced the performance in the course of activities of an educational institution, it is covered under the fair use. So you can do certain type of activities, for example, showing the movie, showing the clip, even distributing the post material, that is allowed under subsection 1, clause J. Yes, very important part for everyone. Library, yes. If you want to do a digitization of libraries, again it is allowed fair use clause. Subsection 1, clause N. Public library to store electronic copy of a work which is already has a physical copy of the work. Storage shall be for preservation purpose. Many of us now we are dealing in the two-way, for example, print plus born digital. But there are a couple of books which is not available earlier in the digital format, which was very old, rare, and we have to sustain that books for a long period. In that case, you can go for a digitization that context, and you can do it under this subsection 1, clause N. That public library or any library, they can do this such type of digitization for the preservation purpose. If you ask me of engineering purpose, then definitely all this engineering of mechanical devices, subsection 1, clause W, you can make a 3-dimensional object from a 2-dimensional object. There is no copyright for you on that also. Friends, believe me, Indian government thinking ahead. Yes, they had not only considered the normal peoples, they even considered the disabled people also. So in new clause, they had introduced ZB and added to the section 52(1). It provides for the adaptation, reproduction in any accessible format to facilitate person with disability. It is mainly for education purpose or research. If there was a blind person in my organization, in my institute, and he want to convert some material in audio format, it is allowed under section subclause ZB under the section 52(1). These rights are available to any person or organization who are working for the benefit of the person with disability. If you're a institute or a organization who are working for this disabled people, in that case, there is a new section 31B has been introduced to provide compulsory license. They have to take a compulsory license from the government, and then they can convert all such things for the benefit of disabled person. Digital right management, yes, again important things. So in a 2012 amendment, they had inserted a new section 65B, Any person who knowingly removes or alters any rights management information without authority or electronic rights management information has been removed or altered without authority shall be punishable. If I am doing something, for example, your digital copy is there and I am removing your name and using that content, then definitely it is a infringement of the copyright. So all these are the welcome changes. If there is any worrisome changes which is there in the 2012 amendment, we'll just check. Worrisome changes in the Copyright Amendment Act. Copyright terms, the duration of all copyrights are above the minimum required. Even it is beyond the international obligation. So the term which is defined in the Copyright Amendment Act 2012, it is very long. So that's why this is the worrisome changes. The missed opportunity, there was no fair dealing guideline from the government. Even we are expecting some more education exception from the government. It was not properly communicated to the public, and they have not involved the internet intermediary in this. There are a couple of users and small creators, those who are left out of the discussion when this amendment was happening. Libraries and librarians, yes, consumers, historians, even teachers, students, RTI activists, and independent publishers. So all these points are left out when they are amending their act. Friends, I had already told you about the disabled person, but I had explained you in the Indian level. Now I want to give some of the information which is available at the international level. The treaty name is Marrakesh VIP Treaty, which came in 2013. More than 75 WIPO members have signed this treaty. It is called as a Marrakesh. Why it is called as a Marrakesh? Because it was, they had organized a conference at the city Kingdom of Morocco. That's why Marrakesh. That's why it is called as a Marrakesh VIP Treaty on 27 June 2013. I'm very proud to say you that India is the first country who had ratified, who had signed this country on 30th June 2024. Why am talking about that treaty in the copyright session? Indian Copyright Amendment Act 2012 is in coordination with the Marrakesh Treaty. It means when world is thinking in the year 2014, 2013, in the year 2012 we had already made these changes. So we are taking steps ahead. So that's why I am really proud. Till date, there is near about 76 countries had signed this MVIP treaty so far. Jokes apart, if you are stealing from one person, it is a plagiarism. But if you are stealing from many, that is called a research. Definitely, we will take a look on the plagiarism tomorrow. But before that, I want to highlight some of the important judgments, which is specifically on the copyright and which is really important in the teaching domain also. What are they? The first and important judgment is a Rameshwar photocopy. Yes, Delhi University plus Rameshwar photocopy service versus Oxford University Press, Cambridge University Press, and Taylor and Francisco. They were selling the course pack to the students, and this publisher had raised the issue. But after out of court of settlement, this publisher had withdrawn for the benefit of students. They had withdrawn this case.
वो उसमें कुछ तो भी प्रॉब्लम है इलेक्शन सब कोई
Another
कंपनी
important judgment. Amazon run into copyright issue over the flagship campaign Apni Dukaan. Actually, Pune businessmen had already registered Dukaan.com as a domain name 2007. And that time, Amazon also introduced. So when they got a notice, they have to stop this campaign. Monkey selfie, you all know that is copyright case. Yes, Mr. Selter and Wikipedia, when the online encyclopedia uploads the picture and tag it as being in the public domain, reasoning that monkey cannot own copyright. In September 2015, People for the Ethical Treatment, PETA, sued Mr. Selter in a California court on behalf of the monkey named Naruto in the suit to assert copyright over the picture. In this case also, there was a settlement of court, out of court. PETA lawyers have said that the deal includes a commitment from the photographer to pay 25% of all future royalty revenue to the monkey sanctuary where natural lives. So this is the way they are very important and landmark judgments. India important movements in copyright. In March 1949, yes, the government in India, southern state of Tamil Nadu, acquired the work of one of the India's greatest poet, and it was the first time in the world they had taken over the copyright of a writer and put his writing in the public domain. Famous dead writers writing, what about their copyright? Yes, trust held the copyright of Gandhi's writing until it lapsed and passed into public domain in 2019. Till 2019, it was held with the trust, but now it is in the public domain. Sonia Gandhi holds the copyright of Nehru's work until 2024. Publisher had free access to Nobel Prize winning poet Rabindranath Tagore works only after 1992. It means till 1992, Rabindranath Tagore's work is in the copyright. Now it is in the public domain. A very landmark judgment again, if you talk about the research or the teaching faculty. In December 2020, three major publishers, Elsevier, Wiley, and American Chemical Society, moved to court against Kazakh computer programmer Alexander Elbekan, owner of Sci-Hub, and website LibGen and it is related additional domain, because they are uploading all these papers on the websites and researcher can easily download without any charge or without any paywall. So again, now that case is in the Delhi High Court. Even they are at the international level also they are fighting for this copyright case. Recently, very recently, on 4th March, ResearchGate dealt with a blow in the copyright suit. Yes, court ruling says that the academic network website is responsible for paper upload by its user, but ResearchGate plans to appeal the decision. They had asked to stop the uploading the paper. The decision has taught an academic researcher a significant lesson. According to ResearchGate, the debate, according to ResearchGate, cannot be held answerable for the content that authors upload. The statement from the ResearchGate above simply places responsibility on the author's shoulder. So, as a very genuine request to all the academic researchers, we should be very cautious when uploading our research paper to any of the platform in future. Jokes apart, a Malik Tere Bande. The author came and asked, pay my share of royalty, then only sing your song. So what initiative Indian government had taken? Indian government had come up with the National Intellectual Property Policy 2006, adopted on 12 May 2006. Why they have taken this? To strengthen the IP infrastructure, to make the IP process faster, to review the rules and procedures, to attract the investment, to make environmental business friendly, and to give more power to the IPOs in terms of invention. IPS cells is established in 41 university. Now it may be increased. Why they have created the IPS cell? To organize group meetings like this, to take IPR audit of research program, to guide inventors in promoting their academic and international activities through IPR protections, to facilitate IP management. So if you ask me how I can be, create awareness about the IPR copyright, it is very easy. You have to create a campus-wide fair use policy. You have to read and negotiate the license for the digital content, and the campus should be educated in terms of rules and regulation regarding IPR and copyright. Intellectual property, according to FICCI Pinkerton report, India Risk Survey, intellectual property theft is voted as the third most serious concern by respondents, given the increased threat of hackers, copyright, pirates, brand, patent floaters, and trade secrets. As digitalization has paved the way of tech-based startups, software and data privacy as a form of IP theft is also a major concern for Indian companies. As already our principal madam told us that we are in the digitization, we are taking help of online education and online techniques to teach our students, but there is also side effects. So as a teacher, as a researcher, you have to be careful on that also. So jokes apart, it is nothing personal. We just like to secure our intellectual property each evening. It means whenever we are going out, our teachers or a researcher, we have to be very careful because their intellectual is our intellectual. We have to we have to be kept in a proper way. Otherwise, it can be stolen. If there is any questions, I am happy to answer it. Before that, thanks to Geetha ma'am, thanks to Neelam ma'am. I'm sorry, I didn't mention your name. Thanks to Nita madam and all the participants for this patient hearing. Last but not least, the images used in this presentation are found from different sources all over the internet and it has been in the public domain and are displayed under the fair use principle for education purpose. This is the way I am putting my responsibility, my liability on the internet. So such type of disclaimer are really important whenever you are doing any presentation, whenever you are doing any any sessions. Such type of disclaimer is really important for you as a researcher, as a teacher. Thank you so much. If there is any questions, I am happy to answer.
Hello. Bharat sir, am I audible? जी. Thank you very much, Mr. Jadhav. I think you have guided our attendees in a very effective manner, specifically with the legal coverage, sections, illustrations, case laws, started with the treaties, convention, etc. I'm sure that they have learnt a lot. Sir, this topic is also very close to my heart, as I am teaching the same in our business law subject, and I have written the book upon the same. But sir, uh, your orientation doesn't end here. Actually, our faculties are very good recipients, and rather they are more smart, so they are coming up with the doubts. So now with
Yes,
for you
yes,
with they are coming with the doubts, so they must have their question, and you have to answer them, sir, even after your
definitely.
comprehensive guidance. So I request Professor Bharat to handle the question answer session. Over to you, Bharat sir.
भरत सर मैं एक क्वेश्चन पूछूं
Yes, yes, madam. Yes, yes, yes.
Pralhad sir, it seems like not everywhere, but there are few libraries where they start the digitization. Do we require any legal document to do so, or what should be the process to digitize?
Digitization, if you are using for the commercial purpose, then definitely there is an infringement. For example, if I am digitizing a certain books and I am selling the soft copy of that book in the market, it means it is an infringement.
Mm-hmm.
But again, if I'm not selling, but only I am giving access to my students, my institute students, and they are using it, that's also fine. But suppose you're not selling, you're not using for commercial purpose, but your student, they had downloaded and they are circulating in the market without any commercialization. So it is very, it is very important. We have to take that. If you're giving access of any digitized content, it means you have to give the only view option. Yes, if you're thinking that it should give a download option, then it is only restricted to the teaching faculty, where we can take a, where we can take a sign from them that it is only for the use of purpose in the institute or in the research purpose only. They will not share to other person, other institutes, professor or a teacher, students. So in that way, you can save your side.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
What happened, ma'am? Most of the time, library had the collections with their stamp, and we
Mhm.
scan it with the stamp. And certainly after a couple of months or after 6 months, 7 months, suppose it got viral in the internet domain, so your stamp will prove that this is copies from your side and you had digitized. So at that time it will act as a a proof against you. So that's why it is a very important thing when you are creating a repository. If the students are accessing, give only view options. They can view it, they can access it. Don't give the options of download.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
I think we can ask them to fill the feedback form tomorrow. Bharat, it is day wise or it will be okay once. So share the link, share the link in the chat box by the time question answer session is going on. Okay, and because I got disconnected twice, so I thought maybe it is not. Okay, no issues. let them ask tomorrow.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir. Bharat sir, am I audible? Neelam madam?
Yes, yes.
Ji, ji. Thank you everyone for attending today's session, and thanks for patience listening. I'm sure we have got ample of the knowledge on this caption subject. Now we'll meeting on the same time, that is 4 p.m. tomorrow, for the another learnings, that is on the plagiarism. Thank you everyone.
So much.
Thank you. Thank you.
All the participants are requested to fill the feedback form. Thank you, sir. We'll meet tomorrow. Hello.